now with the latest 2D combat game on the Dreamcast, Marvel vs. Capcom. All our comic book favourites are here, from Wolverine to Spider-Man, but this time they're joined by the equally famous Capcom crew of Ryu and his pals for the fight of their lives. This super-fast game allows 4 players to battle together tag team style. However, that's about as innovative as this game gets. There's nothing here that's not in the original Street Fighter 2 and Marvel versions. Although there's a host of spectacular moves to learn, using them effectively during battles is almost impossible. Because there's so much intense, explosive action, figuring out exactly what's going on can be incredibly confusing. Still, if you're desperate to find out if Chun-Li could defeat the sinister Venom, you'll find the answer here.
Combo finish! KO!
If you want more control over your energetic exploits, we recommend you wait for International Track and Field 2000, the latest sequel to the button-bashing classic.
The time was 10:20.
We met up with one of the game's directors in Japan to find out exactly what improvements had been made. And as we soon found out, the game's come on in leaps and bounds.
6.83 meters.
で、画面を見ていただいたのかもしれないですけど、
Since we released our first conversion for the PlayStation 3 years ago, technology has improved dramatically. Although it's still a PlayStation game, we've been able to make the graphics and gameplay far more realistic. The other major difference is that there are now 12 sports to compete in. And unlike previous versions, 6 of these aren't based on track and field events, like the canoeing.
We've had a go on several of these new events and can tell you they look great. We especially like the weightlifting and diving sections, which certainly made a nice break from the usual running and jumping. And whilst you still have to hammer those buttons as fast as you can, timing and reflexes will be just as important. Better get practicing then for the game's release. The new Tetris on the N64 can drive you crazy, but we've got some cheats to cheer you up when playing this difficult puzzle game. Select single player mode and enter your name as 2, F, A, S, T, 4 and U. Highlight OK and then press A. If you're feeling brave, start a game and watch the blocks fall at an amazing turbocharged speed. For a more relaxing cheat, enter the audio options screen, set the song to Halusi and the music mode to choose. Then select single player mode and enter Halusi as a name. That's H-A-L-U-C and I. Highlight OK and press A. Now you'll see an amazing kaleidoscope effect. Perhaps you've been playing for too long. To 2 multimedia titles now, which follow in the long line of Star Wars games.
Welcome to the Palace of the Jedi. Brave you must be. A great challenge, have you?
Yoda's challenge is for younger children and sees them taking the role of a Jedi Knight. Yoda, the wise Jedi Master, will set tasks to test their music, reading and mathematical skills. 6 challenging missions, each with between 20 and 40 preset puzzles, will test children to the full. The tasks are enjoyable, but Yoda's commentary can become annoying.
Following directions you are, or will you go, yes?
Racing with Jar Jar and Queen Amidala or outsmarting battle droids is good fun, but we doubt whether Yoda's challenge will be able to keep the attention of children. If you're young and a Star Wars fan, then this learning journey may appeal, but we found Yoda and his pals a little irritating.
Greetings. I am your guide, C-3PO.
Another offering from the Star Wars stable is the Pit Droids. Pit Droids is a surprisingly difficult Lemmings-style puzzle game set over 8 levels and containing over 300 different conundrums. The idea is very simple. Droids appear on your screen and, using directional arrows, you have to steer them safely to their target. Sound simple? Well, it's not. Different coloured droids can only travel through certain areas. There are very few directional arrows, and the droids sometimes have to be directed towards a tool. This tool can then be used later in their journey to overcome an obstacle. If you successfully guide your robots through a level, then you'll be rewarded with a video clip of the clumsy droids. With the option to design your own levels and even post them on the internet, Pit Droids is an intriguing and highly original Star Wars title. Time for some cartoon chaos now as the South Park Elementary's finest take to the streets. Here's a sneak preview of South Park Rally on the PC. At first glance, you could be mistaken for thinking that this is just another Mario Kart clone. Thankfully, though, there's a lot more on offer than humorous sound bites.
I am the Supreme Master.
Instead of simple laps, your character will be thrown into a series of mad missions where you race to collect the most items or battle with your competitors to maintain possession of vital objects. Aiding you amidst this mayhem are a number of bizarre power-ups, including water bombs, Chef's chocolate salty balls, and wind-assisted turbo boosts courtesy of Canadian superstars Terrence and Phillip. Although the finishing touches are still being made, it looks as if gamers are finally going to get a decent South Park title. South Park Rally is already a hugely enjoyable game, and we're looking forward to reviewing the finished version soon.
You will respect my authority!
Another title featuring those naughty kids is Chef's Love Shack on the Dreamcast.
Hello everyone, welcome to Chef's Love Shack.
This is a new multiplayer trivia game that challenges players to outwit and outplay their opponents. Up to 4 people can play as either Cartman, Kenny, Kyle or Stan, with the charismatic chef as question master.
This country is world famous for its fabulous dikes.
After answering surprisingly difficult questions, Chef will pick a minigame at random, such as Tug of War. There are bonus rounds where you can boost your score, and there's even a Wheel of Fortuitousness. After a quick spin, your score could double, you may go home empty-handed, or you might win another bonus game. Despite being a brightly coloured cartoon, Chef's Love Shack, like the South Park series, is strictly not for children. It's very funny, but the humour is often of an adult nature. Also, the questions are repeated too frequently, and if you're not a fan of Cartman and Co., you may tire of this title very quickly. Coming up, we create some creatures, meet a Formula One star, and check out the latest in multiplayer madness. Here's a preview of a stunning game of which Charles Darwin would have been proud. Evolver on the PC is shaping up to be one of the most innovative shooters ever. In the far reaches of space, a malignant parasite has crashed into a serene planet and is threatening to engulf an entire world with its army of hatchlings. In an effort to save the indigenous population, a team of 4 Geno hunters is dispatched to try to wipe out the aliens for good. Once you've named your team and given them a tasteful skin tone, you'll be able to take control of all 4 members. Each has different attributes such as speed or strength, and you can switch between them at will, lending the gameplay a strategic element. The real innovation, however, comes once you've collected enough DNA from fallen foes. This gives you the opportunity to mutate your heroes, producing a new and improved version of your previous Geno hunter with skills incorporated from your enemy's genetic code. Because of the huge number of possible genetic combinations, you'll eventually build up a team of Geno hunters that's totally unique. You'll also have the opportunity to battle other players' creations in a welcome multiplayer mode. Evolver already looks stunning, and with such an original concept, it's sure to add a little spice to your life when it arrives next year. The internet is packed with informative sites and is a perfect resource for inquisitive children. However, many sites contain material that you may not feel is suitable for you or your family. So here's Cybernet's quick guide to filtering out the nasty from the nice. Some web browsers, like Internet Explorer, allow you to block unsuitable pages. To do this, you need to select Internet Options from the Tools menu. Then click the Content tab and select Enable. Now you'll be able to specify what you consider to be acceptable material. Unfortunately though, this only works on websites that contain rating information, so some people choose to use more thorough filtering software such as Cyber Patrol. Software such as this contains an up-to-date list of unsuitable web pages which you can download from the company's website. Then if you try to access any banned information, you're stopped by a Cyber Patrol checkpoint. For software a bit more friendly, check out SurfMonkey. This little blue chimp turns your browser into a rocket ship, and his robot pal Cybot will block unsuitable sites.
Before the rocket ship visits a new page, I check whether it's on the blacklist. If it's okay, we fly there. If it's a bad site, I refuse access. Oh, I love my job. The power, the power.
Weird. SurfMonkey also contains a lot of safe children's web pages and chat rooms, and if you come across a site you don't like, it even lets you blow it up. I'm sure that can't be safe. Role-playing games, you either love them or hate them. Revenant on the PC definitely conforms to this theory. In one way, it's an involving action-adventure that contains all the traditional elements of an RPG, and in another, it's an incredibly time-consuming waste of energy. After equipping your hero, it's off to rescue a fair maiden and thwart the plans of the evil warmongers. There are over 50 characters to interact with. Some will upgrade your armor, give you weapons, help you with vital information, or teach you new skills. On this quest, you can never spend enough time training for combat. Magic plays a major part in the game too, and your character can combine talismans he finds on his travels to produce his own custom spells. These can be awesome and really add something to the game. Everything from tornadoes to fire blasts can be created, and you never know what you'll produce next. However, it takes hours of adventuring to get anything remotely interesting, and the game contains too much speech. If you've got a lot of patience, it will be rewarded, but Silver is a much better adventuring experience. Marines on the N64 looks a little bit familiar, it's because it comes from the same people who brought us Turok Dinosaur Hunter. And if anything, it looks even more intense than that game. Hordes of alien insects are trying to colonize Earth, and it's up to you and your elite band of Marines to destroy the bug menace. Yes, it all sounds just like the movie Starship Troopers, and the game plays just like it too. What can we expect? Well, loads of bug-busting weapons, that's for sure, and more insects than you can shake a can of bug repellent at. There'll also be a host of gadgets to play with, from thermal imaging equipment to our old favourite remote mines. The action will take place over 5 themed worlds, like a military base and a volcanic island. The programmers have promised the best enemy artificial intelligence ever seen in a game. Well, if the finished version is half as exciting as the movie Starship Troopers, it'll be massive. Let's hope it touches down on the N64 soon.